It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we've got a pair of teams who actually merged for a season back in the day. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's all up next.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
It's an old-school battle in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. The Eagles and the Steelers are underway. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
And he'll lose yardage, brought down at the 32. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Wilson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the third down play.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's Wilson to throw. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. The field right in the heart of a defense.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On the give, it's Warren. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Warren will try the right side. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A handoff for Warren. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
field goal coming from Younghoe Koo. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. Koo knocks this one through the post, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together. And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. This now a 3rd and 4. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Mike Evans, 66 yards. And the Eagles are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it's Mike Evans who caps it with a touchdown reception.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing is Wilson.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And here's Freiermuth again. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41.
Running left, it's Warren.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 33, here's 2nd and a couple.
They go play action with Wilson.
A short one there to Freiermuth. And Freiermuth going to have a Steelers first down as he'll get the ball down inside the 30.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now a run with Warren. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Although his reputation, always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Right back to him on first down. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
Now whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2.
Wilson now off the bootleg.
That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown Steelers.
8 yards on the touchdown pass.
And the Steelers have regained the lead. So, Charles, they had him double covered in the end zone. It still was not enough.
I wonder if they're thinking to themselves now, 2 didn't work. Do we go for 3 guys on him next time? Because he fought through all that extra attention, got himself into a great position where his quarterback felt confident enough to challenge the coverage and threw it his way. What a big-time play right there, both by the quarterback trusting him and by him going up and getting it.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays.
And it was finished off by a George Pickens touchdown grab. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Here's Hurts to throw. It gets this complete to Shaheed.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt.
The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Wilson. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Now Wilson. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, they've certainly gotten him involved in this 1st half, and on 3rd down, they looked his way again. And what a delight for his quarterback to find him and keep the drive moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Warren. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Here's Wilson.
Got his man. It's Warren.
And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hurts.
Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. So he stopped for no gain, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
2nd and 10.
They'll set up a throw.
Throwing it Terry McLaurin's way again, and he's got it.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Throw left side, caught by Laporta.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
2nd and 7. Now Hurts on the option right.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts
keeping it himself from 7 yards out.
And the Eagles have taken the lead.
He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead is now 14-10. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it 2nd down and 12. Here's Wilson.
Pickens on the slant.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
On the run, it's Warren.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Wilson.
He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
They'll run it. Warren.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Now 2nd and 5.
Wilson.
Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens.
And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 31-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Here's Warren. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
Here's Wilson to throw. And they're to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Harold Landry, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Well, surprise, surprise. First and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Wilson. Under pressure, they got him again. Vita Vea in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
2 straight sacks have them backed up now for a 3rd and goal.
Back to throw. Wilson.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Aku just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Off the option, here's Jacobs.
He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground. This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
This short throw caught by Goddard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Second and 3 from the 9. Hurts going to keep it running right. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
One of the tight ends comes in motion. It'll be Hurts on the option. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Eagles are able to stretch out their lead. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback, the ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is up to 8. A 10-play drive that time, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Steelers offense and their running back Jaylen Warren headed back onto the field. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. Throwing is Wilson. A short one there to Freiermuth. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Now Wilson completes this one to Pickens. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 3rd down, Warren. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs. Keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. Operating from the gun, Wilson forced out to his left. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
That's down the field and caught by Freiermuth.
And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. And that one results in 35 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Looking to throw. Wilson. His throw incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Play action. Now Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's a hero of his defense up to the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
Two incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. They'll look to throw again.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Field goal coming from Younghoe Koo. From the left hash, a chip shot here.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that'll get the lead down to 5.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Eagles offense and veteran receiver Mike Evans headed back onto the field. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he fends him off, buying time to his left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Throwing is Hurts.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
55 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Dallas Goedert, 30 yards. And the Eagles are able to widen their advantage.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
Butker on for the PAT. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays.
And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense and George Pickens set to take over again. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
This is 2nd and 8.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Warren, and he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And that is too far out in front of his intended target. Incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, Corliss Waitman on to punt.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense and Jalen Hurts ready to take over once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing middle, and it's complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Evans in motion.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Hurts. And yet again, it's McLaurin.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
This to Laporta, right side.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup.
Hurts. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Hurts. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there as the first half is winding down.
And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. 5 plays there on that drive. The result, Philadelphia.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Here's Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Final play of the half. It's Wilson.
That's down the field for Jefferson.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So that PI call will give them one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We just watched a fine first half out of the mobile quarterback. That's Jalen Hurts. How about these numbers? 3 touchdown passes plus 2 touchdown runs. Just an absolute masterclass in those first 2 quarters.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Well, the Eagles offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Well, they found him 8 times in that first half, and this is his first catch of quarter number 3.
And McLaurin, the motion man right.
Back to throw now on first down. Slings this deep for McLaurin. And he's got it inside the 10.
And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10.
A big play there for Philly. 44 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
After the sack on first down, Hurts. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Hurts fumbles it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over at the sideline. There's the head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it. Field goal time.
Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 39. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Here's Wilson.
That's complete to his tight end Freiermuth.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
Now Wilson.
That's caught. It's Austin left side.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Got an open man. It's Pickens.
And he's got this down to the 35. 14 yards that time for number 14.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
They'll run on first down.
Warren down to about the 32.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
They go play action now. Wilson.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Wilson.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there.
That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Wilson.
Open man, that's the tight end, Freiermuth.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Again, Wilson.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Up the middle they go.
It's Warren, and he will have a Steelers first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
They'll keep it on the ground.
Warren.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't it?
Here's Wilson to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Russell Wilson. A 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Steelers get a bit closer.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed. He had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Hurts sets up to throw it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Over the middle, complete. It's Evans. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up second down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 61 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. Down to about the 45.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's second down and 7. From the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 33. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Powers through. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd and 5. Back to throw here. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing is Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
No question, he's so dangerous down here near the goal line. The safeties, they have to be involved in run support against a quarterback like this. And in turn, they're going to ask their teammates to be involved as well.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And that will make this a 19-point game. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Steelers offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. Play action. Now Wilson. It got his man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That one good for 37 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Up the middle they go. Warren. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 121 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him with a great performance And how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead?
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Incomplete.
Every now and then, you have some volleyball training actually comes into play as a defender. When a ball's tipped in the air, nice play by the defense, got a hand on it, but when it's in the air, it's up for grabs. And too many times in this league, we've seen great plays happen for an offense as a result of a ball tipped in the air. So what you really want to do is be that guy who comes off the back line and spikes it, knocks it to the ground. Don't let him have that opportunity.
Now Wilson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Second and 10 now. Third quarter action from Philadelphia, PA.
Now it's Wilson.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side.
And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Throwing is Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Eagles are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here's Hurts to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Hurts.
He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
They'll look to throw again. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 2.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
We've called a lot of gains, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 7.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way and worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. He completes it to Evans. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Play action. Here's Hurts. This to Laporta, right side.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level. To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the fourth is not going to be an easy task, but that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Wilson.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
The tight end in motion right. To throw again is Wilson.
Finding Pickens once again.
And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Second down and 3, ball on the 7.
Here's Wilson. And it's caught.
And the Steelers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Jaylen Warren
punching it in from a yard away.
And the Steelers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Russell Wilson now will bring his guys up to go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd.
That a lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
A lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Hurts sets up to throw it. That's complete to Laporta.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Here's Jacobs from the gun.
Down to the 42, second down. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Looking to throw on second down.
Hurts.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
The Eagles on third down. They've been really good converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 7.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
20. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 15-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Once again, it's Jacobs. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
To Evans on the slant. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That time on the run-pass option when he decided to throw it, not a quick little drop-off. He went downfield a bit.
Reminiscent of a triple option quarterback in college because he faked it inside, and instead of immediately throwing it out to the perimeter, stepped back in the pocket to find a target downfield.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts
keeping it himself from 5 yards out.
And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Butker on for the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense and their wide receiver getting set for this next possession. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game.
Now Wilson. That's going to be caught by Pickens. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll make it second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27.
Now it's Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
Got his man, it's Warren.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
2 yards still to go. Third down now.
To throw is Wilson. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now.
Halted in his tracks by Keanu Benton.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 9.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This now a 3rd and 4. Throwing is Hurts.
And a throw there going to be incomplete.
But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away.
And able to get this out to the 25. Well, this offense and their wideout headed back onto the field. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show, as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Wilson. And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Now Wilson. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
2nd and 10.
Here's Wilson to throw.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
Wilson will throw again. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles defense able to hold. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home. You know, you walked in and you looked at the advantages and you saw that they had most of them. It'd take a lot to try and even it up. I just thought 2 words for this ball game: methodical and predictable. And both of them came together.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.